What's up, everyone? Boss over here with Grim Rounds Gaming, and I'm trying to figure out what kind of ratio I need for Earth, or even Lightning, or even Ice cards, because I gotta get ready for Cincinnati, and my plane ticket's booked for the National Championships. But anyway, if you look right here in these piles, you'll notice that there are force cards in NDG, and I did that on purpose simply because I want to be able to distinguish what's in each pile based on what you draw each turn. Now, this might be a bit skewered, but because sometimes you're, often holding one card in your hand after using. I'm not certain if you're going to be pitching that for another effect, just to try to get to the bottom, or if it stays in your hand. But anyway, we are working currently with 15 forces, which represents Earth action cards or non-attack action cards. And of course, we're working with 15 fusion cards that fuse with these Earth cards. Some of them might be different. I didn't have a whole lot of Earth fusion cards, but this is a 30 card pile right here. And I'm going to go ahead and do some cuts, and I'll show you not just this pile, but we will show you game number 2 and game number 3, what you get. So that way, I can convince you otherwise that having access to 15 forces, which represents Earth, is a very good balance for making sure that you get what you need. Or when it comes to making your decision making and your options, I want to help you as much as possible. Anyway, let's get to it. As you can see, we're about to get started with a pile shuffle. This is how I'm going to do it with each and every pile that I have, so that way you know how I shuffle it. It's generally how most people do it. I'm going to show you. As you can see, we got ourselves access to one. That is a heavily convoluted hand right there. No doubt about that. That is hand number 2. Yada yada yada. Not the pass forward. Now, of course, you look right here. This hand did not get picked. It's the first time I've seen it, but like I said, it will occasionally occur from time to time, but not to worry, we're about to go to hand number 3. You look right here, no fusions, but at the very least, you can probably get something out of these piles to be able to get something going. And also, this is 15 forces. I figured I'd let you know that you can get a good idea of how many blues you need. Certain classes, such as Guardian, or even certain classes of Prism for that matter, in CC, you need to have a certain amount of blues in order to operate. So if you look right here, you can also get a good idea of how much blue pitch that you can have. It's always important, especially with prospect lying around. And not only that, watch your curve on how many high-costed cards you got. Don't be trying to rely on glacial footsteps all the time. Get it set up if you can, but make do with what you got. But anyway, we're going to go ahead. You're probably wondering, what happens if we go with dual elements? Now, what I got right here is we got some ice cards. Well, these are going to be MTG. I'm going to have them mixed in throughout this. However, after looking at the 30 card pile, I didn't really like the numbers. So, in this particular situation, if we go up to 32 cards, then what this allows us to do is to go 8 on 8 when it comes to the fusion cards, for that matter. Now, of course, started 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Now, if we look right here, just about everything has an even dispersed. We had 2 discrepancies to where we had access to 2 hands that had nothing but earth elements. However, given that this is a 32 aspect ratio, depending on what those pitch value is, you can get a pretty decent hand with perhaps even 1 to 2 blue pitch, depending on how you draft or you seal. But anyway, I'm going to go ahead and simulate hand number 2. All right, here we are with game number 2's hand. This is, of course, going to be the opening hand in this particular situation. Now, as you can tell, we got access to 3 fusions and 1 earth element. Odds are we're probably going to want to try to keep this. Hopefully, the opponent doesn't have an aggressive hand, so this will probably be discarded. And of course, this will go to hand number 1. So add another 2 cards if we look right here in this particular situation. We got some interesting things to do right here in this particular situation. Now, of course, we could be trying to set up the bottom 2, or we can be a bit gambling, decide to put an earth and an ice fusion down below, but let's go ahead and try that and play these cards out. So we'll do that. Now, of course, hand number 2 is, of course, going to be an of course, the ice fusion and an earth fusion. There is a nice decent ratio right here, but of course, given with most 4-card hands, even 5-card hand depends on your resources. In this particular situation, if it were to me, I would have to state if this is an attack, not a setup card, I would probably go for the pressure stuff while trying to pitch down below what we can do in this particular situation. So I probably use this as a pitch. Depends on the resource. Never know. We'll put that right there. Of course, we're going to go ahead and go to hand number 2, 3. In this particular situation, usually just about anyone can remember what their cards are on the pitch, but as the game goes on, people start to get nervous. So, based on memory, usually you can see about 2 cards, 2 hands that you pitched. More so if you were very durable, but when we're in the format that's usually unpredictable, we'd be doing our best to slow them down. So in this particular situation, I'm going to want to pitch the ice action down below so we can get ourselves a nice option for the last hand near the bottom. For 1 of 2 that you see when you pitch them. But of course, we're going to go off attack, blah blah blah. Of course. And number 4, got an ice, got an earth fusion, got another earth. This is not bad at all, not bad at all. This particular situation, what I'll probably do here is use this for pitch, play that, reveal that. Yeah, yeah, keep that in our hands. This will go down here, this particular instance. Of course, we're going to go ahead with hand number 5. We got an earth fusion, another earth fusion. We got an earth element. And, ooh, man, we got ourselves one heck of a hand here. Depending on the resources. Ooh, man. Talk about some stacked options. No doubt about that. So we're going to go ahead, use this hand. No doubt. Probably pitch this down below, play one of these, and probably Arsenal. Something. But, of course, we're going to go ahead and reveal. And 3, 4, 5, 6. Got an earth fusion, earth element, ice element, ice. Ice Fusion, Ice Element. Now this is not bad of a hand, not bad at all. However, if we can remember, hopefully our nerves are not shot by this time. We'll probably try to set something up to where we pitch these two, reveal this to the Ice Fusion, have this hand go right here. Of course, don't be planning on seeing your hands very often. In this particular situation, we're going to Ice Fusion, Ice Element, Ice Fusion, Element, Element. This particular situation, I'll probably hit these two to the bottom, and then we'll be going with that and that. And of course, we got ourselves two cards right here, which means this one right here is directly on the bottom. So if we look right here, these go right here. This goes right here because this is the first pitch file that we had access to. So it'll go like that. If you look at this option, we got Ice, another Fusion, 2. We got a nice balance ratio right here in this particular situation. And then go over here. Notice this one has a decent file. We do have some very good earth fusions and probably good sounds or voltage in this particular situation. Now, of course, this file right here, odds are we're probably going to be pitching to the bottom these cards and revealing these. And let's see what would happen. So if we were to pitch that, plus that, play these out, then these two go to the bottom. Of course, we will have a very loaded hand. And this is typical, but you can get yourself a pretty good idea what's going to happen. Because what we'll probably do here in this particular situation is pitch these two. They're probably launch a very powerful attack while keeping the hand in. Yada yada yada. Well, as you can see right here, we do, and this hand number 2, there is a very good ratio of, for example, Ice Fusion, Ice Elements. A pretty good ratio, no doubt about that. If we look at this pile right here. So I can highly recommend that you go for the 2 cards, no doubt about that. But anyway, this is all sorted out with Grim Realms Gaming. Have a good day.